Welcome on wrestlers with open arms. In the heat of the struggle, we feel no harm. Through the fingers grip like steel too strong. Together we thrive like a thunderstorm.
Well, we're live, but Artem and Auden are on Ozzy's channel right now.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. Well, that kind of sucks, but I mean, I get it,
Well, hello. Okay,
Hey,
wait.
buddy.
Kicked me off for a second there.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So Arden and Artem are on Ozzy's channel, but we do Tuesdays every week. So you know what? That's fine. They don't go very long on Ozzy's channel. We'll probably
They've been going for a while. I've been watching.
Yeah. And then I don't know why, but Dan Swartz scheduled his podcast for the same time as ours, and he normally does it Mondays. I don't know why. I'm not quite sure why he scheduled it at the same time as us, because we do every Tuesday no matter what, right?
Maybe he hates us.
Could be. I don't know.
Brian, did you hear that Country Folk City Slicker 2 announcement today?
Yes, but it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a different city.
Yeah, Helen, no, same place you were just at.
Yep, and actually, a little early peak. The M Spot's coming on our pod tomorrow night at 6:00.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're coming on tomorrow night, and we're going to be talking about all what they got planned going on here.
Okay, well, I'll be driving to practice, but I should be able to make that one.
Yeah. I wanted to get Gelder on, and you know what? He's got so much going on, but it's like spare the moment. He's got to get on here so that way we can at least promote these quick events he's doing one after another.
Well, I mean, it's tough, right? You just got to sometimes get them when you can.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just waiting on PorkChop to join, and Jason said he's going to be 15 to 20 minutes late.
Yeah, we can talk about Battlezone.
Yes, let's talk about Battlezone now. It's a good time too.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mason is the man.
He got Bellin, I heard.
Yeah, he beat Bellin left arm.
Oh, left arm. Okay.
Yeah, Bellin didn't pull right arm supers because he couldn't.
No, because he's the champ.
Yeah. But he beat everybody left arm.
He still should have, though, because you know why? No one would have beat him anyway.
Yeah.
They don't like him doing it because if someone did beat him, then it screws everything up because
that whole concept personally doesn't really make sense to me.
No, me either.
But I mean, overall, it was a fun tournament. There was a few things I didn't personally enjoy, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick the entire card.
Oh, no. It was some good matches, man.
Yeah. But no, there was good matches. It was fun. What'd you say, Cody?
I like that flop press that you whipped out.
Oh, I didn't. Dude, let me tell you. I remember when I was telling everybody I was a flop presser and they laughed.
You could have finished them, and you could have finished them sooner.
Yep. So, Brian, I don't know if you could hear it on the film, but I actually flopped and got like the Todd roll. And I told myself, because I've never pulled someone where I couldn't break their pronation. And you see me look like this when I'm pulling. Yeah. And I looked at Sean and said, I'm not pinning him, I'm top rolling him. And I just drove my palm into his palm and was waiting for his hand to come back, which finally it did. Then at that point, I was satisfied enough. And I was like, yeah, but I wanted to see how much his bone lock had. So I just started pushing forward until he finally just gave up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because there was one time where you were just sitting there, but if you would have brought your elbow forward a bit, you could have done the old Brian side press. Yeah.
No, I know. Well, he changed his profile picture to a part where I'm elbow fouling in whatever round. And it's an elbow foul. But the thing is I watched that first round back in 0.25 speed, and I had him buried dead to rights in that first round when they called an elbow foul on me. Or no, elbow foul on him.
Yeah.
I was like,
How?
It didn't matter. It was
Oh,
because he tried to shoot forward and hook me. And I
yeah,
love when people shoot forward and hook me. But
yeah.
then I thought he was going to do that again in the strap, and he didn't. He gave forward pressure and then he pulled back. And I didn't have enough cup activated. And I went to pull back and he had me like this. And I've had way too many times where I've been pulling where I get like this and I just try and hold it and they end up just pinning me over. So I was like, no, I want to do something different. And I knew I'd been working on my side pressure.
Mm,
So I just went like this. But the only thing was going like this caused my wrist to bust back.
back a little bit, yeah.
But I like when I was here and I was just going straight sideways, I felt super comfortable. Like I went back to the corner after round one and I told Sean like I want to top roll him, but there's a side pressure lane. Like I'm not too worried. And
Mm.
then that's just kind of the lane I had to keep using till I got
Yeah,
his
I was
hand.
surprised when your wrist went back. I was like, I thought, like, I didn't think he had that much hand.
I
No,
didn't either. But
strong.
he
Yeah.
like he told me that all his lifts have went up like crazy lately and he's been feeling really good. And I didn't know, but I guess he's got a win over Brent Bellamy.
Yeah. He's strong. He's strong early. Like
Yeah.
he fades, but he's strong. Like when he's fresh, he always seems pretty strong when he's fresh.
No,
Yeah.
he said that he was really expecting to win that, and I was like, wow, well, I was too. But
Yeah.
you impressed me quite a bit. Like I was very impressed with how strong you felt. But I
Yeah.
Like
thought it
when
was fun. I like going into matches when like I don't when like I still win, but I don't win how I thought I was gonna win.
Yeah. Because then you pull something out of the hat too, right?
Yeah, and like now I've got wins like everywhere. Like I've flopped people, I've side pressured people, I've hooked people, I've top rolled. Like I just really feel like it's coming along, and like I think I've shown in the last couple matches that like if you beat me in one lane, I can still find another lane to beat you in. Like I'm not, it's not end all be all.
I'm searching for that hook. I want to get a hook win, but
Yeah,
I just don't know how to initiate it or get. And my instincts never let me go in there, and I want to, but I just I've been strong in the hook too, but it's
yeah,
just I just don't know how to like instinctively do it on the table, right? Like,
yeah. And then I got fourth place in the tournament.
yeah,
I lost to Scott in a very close right-handed match. Like I feel like I'm right there with Scott. It's just a few adjustments. I lost to Jesse Harrow. He felt really strong in the hook. He cupped me in. My right was still like my cup didn't feel there from the night before. And then my left arm, again lost to Jesse in a pretty close match. He got me in the strap. And then Lee Sates ended up winning the whole thing. He ended up beating Scott in the finals. And he beat me.
Zoom. You don't have to pay for Zoom to use it, right?
Like just for me to be on?
Yeah.
No.
No, well, PorkChop's trying to download the app, and it says that he's saying that it's trying to make him pay, and I'm
We'll just
pretty
tell him
sure
that he doesn't even have to have the app. He can just go on the link through the web.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when I pulled buddy that you pulled in Grand Prairie at that tournament, it's like out of we instantly slipped, and then when we went to the straps, I just like it was all straight, and then it was just side pressure that took him right down.
You pulled him lefty though, Cody. I rewatched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how he is left-handed. I've never pulled him lefty. But
I
yeah,
don't
because
know if
when
he
he
I don't know
pardon?
if he pulled that tournament right-handed because I
No,
got second behind Joe Fox.
he didn't pull it right-handed, no.
hmm.
Yeah.
I seen your dad. Your dad's hit, man. Woo! It was smoking.
I taught that guy how to top roll and now he's
Yeah.
going crazy, man. Well, we were sitting at the table one night. We were working and working and working, and he kept hitting into the hook, and I'm like, your hit is so fast, it's so powerful. I'm like, but you drive into where people are strong, and then they catch you and pull you out of it. And we just sat there and we worked, and I'm like, hit this way, hit this way, hit this way,
Hmm.
and then it just clicked this tournament, man. Like I was sitting there watching, I was like, wow, because he was blasting, and like over back and like
Oh,
every person that he beat was like finished with an open hand. And I was like, that's perfect. Like that's exactly what you want to do. Cause then even if people catch you here, it's so hard to be outside of your shoulder with an open hand and catch somebody and hold them and come back and win it, especially when they're driving with that much force. I told him, I'm like, you should if your hits like that, like you should jump in an open class. Like I'm pretty sure my dad could have gotten a third or a second in the open class. He wouldn't have beat Sean, and I don't think I think him and Travis Robertson would be really close. I
Were
think it
those
would.
big trophies only for the first place?
Were the what?
Those big ass trophies that they had for just first place?
No,
Or
they
did they
had
have
first,
all of them?
second, and third.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they I actually think if my dad and Travis Robertson pulled, it would depend on if it goes to the strap or not. I know Travis is a lot better in the strap. So I think if the strap came, he could manipulate it to stop my dad's hit. But I think outside of the strap, my dad might be too fast.
Yeah,
Well,
your dad for a big guy has unbelievably good speed.
we might not get a pork chop.
Oh, that's fine.
He's trying to come on his phone, but it's he gets this thing says Zoom may not be supported on your browser. Copy the link below and paste it in Chrome, Firefox, Edge. So that's all he's got to do then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He just needs to pay he might be trying to join through Zoom, but he doesn't have to be on Zoom. He can just join through like a Chrome or something. Yeah, and then I mean supers were good. Jacob Lee smoked Martin Langlois and then didn't end up even pulling the tournament. He wasn't there. He left. Who else? Yeah, it was fun overall. I mean, Sean, Travis, my dad, one of Travis's buddies, and myself on Friday night, we went out to this place called the Woodcutter till like 3 a.m. We were all just hanging out. It was super fun. Overall, Hinton's always fun. So
How was the after party? Good?
after party was good too. Yeah, we ended up leaving a little earlier because we got up around 7 and left. So we actually partied probably harder, not harder, but we partied later on Friday. But we went to this karaoke bar and it was so much fun.
I messaged the guys that run Battle Zone and I asked them for who has all the belts. And I got to make it to a Battle Zone to pull in the 225 left-hand class because Brent Bellarmé has the 225 Battle Zone belt. So I got to win in a tournament to be able to challenge.
Yeah, he just won it this tournament because Ben Souls gave it up. But Fraser had it for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
And then gave it up, and then Ben got it, and so now it's Brent because of
And which class is that?
That's 225 left.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I think I beat Brent on the left arm.
Yeah. I think the big thing would just be I feel like winning the tournament would be tougher than getting the super match because I feel like if you go to the tournament, a wrong tournament, there's that 225 is so stacked.
It's so weird, man. Like he's got an iPhone. Does that make a difference?
No, I'm on iPhone right now.
He just sent me another message that shows Safari cannot open this page because the address is invalid.
Does he not have Chrome?
Well, I don't even have Chrome. I just open it right through the Facebook Messenger link, and then I click on the bottom right. It says open in another thing, and it just takes me to the Zoom app.
Well, I hope PorkChop's watching and hearing you say that because it ain't working for him. He's trying. He's trying to get in, but it's frustrating.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You know, I do say from the other time Sean pulled Bellin, I do see a big difference between this one and those ones.
Oh, yeah. Sean said the strength gap's getting closer, but it's just like,
Yeah. Well, Josh has gotten stronger too. So,
Josh is crazy, man. Like, just feeling him pulling stuff. Like, I was like, wow.
I was hoping Sean would try to jump in for a press because I felt like if he would able to hold Bellin, at least just hold him in that press for a while, it would have tired him out a bit.
Yeah, I just don't know if you gotta be careful in there with Bellin because if he's strong enough and rips through it, it's where he causes a lot of injuries. It's almost not worth it. But yeah, I tweaked something in my left in the tournament too. Something ripped. I was like, ouch. but I still managed to pull a few pulls. But it was sore the next day. It's feeling better now, but it's probably going to be a month or so before I pull with it really hard again. Like tomorrow at practice, I'm going to ease into it and see what it feels like.
So you said Jesse, and who was the other guy that beat you on the left?
Lee Sates.
I'm trying to put a face to the name.
He's good. He felt way stronger than last time I felt him. He's got a big hand for like he's a genuine like 176, 198 guy. Like, but he's got huge hands.
Is that did he have a super match?
No.
No.
Uh Lee Germain beat Joe Fox, hey?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Joe didn't look like Joe. Like he didn't look like he did back at Grand Prairie. Like he just seemed a little like he was off training or something. He looked flabbier. He did. He looked flabbier, like not the Joe that I'm used to seeing. And honestly, the guy he pulled, he won, but the guy just used brute force. The guy was strong. That was the guy I was going to pull.
Yeah.
The Ethan Guitard guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Joe's a bigger fish, so I get it, right? But
no, it was good, but yeah, no, like I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes Joe hits, and sometimes Joe just doesn't hit at all. And I feel like the best Joe is always a
Who's
Joe
hitting?
that's hitting because, like, even with that Nathan guy, like when Joe hit and was surging out of him, it was good. But when he wasn't hitting, and that guy was just bleeding him and soaking him, and then he had to fight back. And if you just do that from center straight to pin line, then you don't got to worry about all that.
Yeah,
That was the same thing with Lee. Like I think, like don't get me wrong, all the credit in the world to Lee.
Oh, Lee's great. Yeah.
But I think if Joe's hitting, Lee can't get to that position, and Joe probably has an advantage.
Lee gets in trouble when you get him on the negative. So if Lee is able to control center, he's really tough to beat. Lee's hand's really good, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah.
And his back pressure is good. So you have to beat him in the back pressure, and then you have to be once you get a little bit to the A side, you have to fully commit on pinning Lee. I know I've beaten Lee, and he got me the last time, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm 2-1 with him, but or 1-1. But we need to have a super match anyway. Yeah,
Do you not come to practice tomorrow, Brian?
not tomorrow, maybe the Saturday one if he does the Saturday one. Yeah, I'm a little busy, and then I've already committed podcasts every day this week, so it's like podcast week.
Yeah,
I'd really like to figure out. I wish I was in the room with fucking Curtis because I'd get his shit working.
yeah, yeah. That sucks. So it's not.
Yeah, the only reason PorkChop's not on right now is can't figure out how to get him on. He's saying that it won't on iPhone. It won't let you download the app now without giving a credit card, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do that. So
that doesn't make any sense, though. I don't know.
Does he have a computer?
I don't think he has a computer. I think he just uses his phone.
He should just be able to download Zoom. I don't know.
Yeah, he says when he goes to download Zoom, it makes him. Oh, he's getting a laptop. Okay, no problem. Take your time, brother.
And Deadly Dale performed well.
I knew he would, because Jesse was thinking he was the Dale that he pulled last year.
Yeah.
But Jesse, you know what? Jesse impressed me. He looked really strong.
Yeah, he felt good, actually.
Yeah, he looked really
strong. How
strong.
he cuts, he does quite well.
Yeah, like I'm not knocking Jesse, but I didn't think he would be able to top Dale in the hook. I just didn't. Dale's hook it's tricky, man. Like, you know, you got to know how to pull Dale to beat his hook, right? Because his hook it's pretty refined. Like I would say Dale's hook's almost elite. If you know what I mean, if you let him get his fucking hooks in and he's right into his hook, he's hard to beat. You have to really take his hand and top roll Dale. That's the best way to beat him, right? So, but he's getting better at blocking that now too. So
when we were at that little tournament in Calgary, we pulled after the whole tournament. Me and Dale were like, we got to have a right hand match, just for fun. Because like instantly we both slam into that hook. We're both fully seated into that hook.
Yeah. You think you beat Dale right now?
Right now, I think it would be 50-50. I do think maybe 60-40 for Dale.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because you like pulling them hook guys. Dale's
Well,
like outside bicep hold when he just gets here is gnarly.
yeah.
It's fun to watch, actually. And then he didn't have no cornerman. I was like, "Where's Stone Cold when you need him?" So I ran up there and
Yeah.
started giving him
Oh, that's
pointers.
good. That's
Not
good.
that I really had any pointers. I just said, "Do you want it more, Dale? Who wants it more?" And I was rubbing his arm. He's like, "I want it more.
Yeah,
I
man.
want it more."
Oh, I'm wearing a shirt.
Deadly's Dungeon.
Yeah, it's actually a nice shirt, man. It's I got a
Yeah, the
hoodie too.
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got me a hoodie and it says the judge on the sleeve. It's actually pretty. I guess I'm the judge now. Who's the one who called me the judge the first time? Do
I
you
don't
know?
know.
We're gonna have to look back because whoever it is, I owe a handle to them.
Travis Robertson made a nickname for Sean.
Did he? What was it?
Call him the debt collector.
The debt collector. Yeah, well, he is. Yeah, he is.
Oh, I thought that was
Yeah,
funny.
he's funny. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jason Costantini.
We got him joining now.
Yep, he's in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
his mic
Why
shut
am I
off.
always so slow seeing everybody? Hey, Jason.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
How are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
Oh, not bad. I see you finally read my message.
Yeah, yeah.
I just bugging you. It's all good.
Hey, Jason.
How you doing, Dakota?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
It's good.
We're just trying to get PorkChop. He's had some issues. Meeting ID. Where do I get the meeting ID number? He wants that.
I can send it to him.
Yeah, send it to him. Yeah.
Just on Messenger.
Yeah, yeah. He had some difficulties getting it to come up on his iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it to him. That's so funny.
So you all pumped for the match coming up, Jason?
Yeah, yeah. I feel pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's left-handed, right?
It's what's that?
It's left-handed, right?
Yeah, it's left-handed. Yeah, my right is nowhere near his right. My right is, and it's
I know
not.
that's why I
my right
challenged
half.
you. That's why I challenged you on the right. I wouldn't touch you. Go after your left. It looks really good. Your left.
Yeah, yeah. My left is yeah. My right's I got an issue with my elbow, and if it was healthy, it's still not as good as my left.
Mhm.
Usually, but
Yeah,
now it's notably
my
notably.
left. I'm the opposite of that. My left's not my right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about the match, and it's a lot to be running a tournament, and like I'm doing a
Yeah.
lot all day, right? So
Yeah.
the fact that he has a match beforehand as well is kind of balances it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's he's obviously got the record, clean record on me so far. So,
Mhm.
but we haven't pulled in a proper comp in a while, so I feel like I've gained a few levels since the last time we pulled left-handed. So I know he has.
You look good left, man. Like I was watching when you
Thank you.
pulled Sean, it was night and day. Your right to your left. Yeah.
Yeah, that was night and day. Yeah. And that was right. Sean, I got some extra cracks and pops from Sean on my right on the last round. So that injury was already kind of around, and he definitely exposed it more so that day. But yeah, left was a different story for sure. So
That's the ID and passcode, Brian. I sent it to PorkChop, but we're not friends on Facebook, so I thought it'd be easier if you send it to him.
I'll send it to him.
I'm not cool enough to be PorkChop's friend on Facebook yet.
Is Ozzy still on right now?
I don't know.
Let's see. Let's check. Yeah,
You just accidentally resent it to me, Brian.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to let you know, so you didn't really when he says I didn't get it, and you go, yeah, I sent it to you 3 times. They were all to me.
It's all to you. Yeah, I do stupid shit like that. Yeah.
It looks like it's over. It's posted. So
Oh,
stream.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, we go live every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like every Tuesday at 6:00. So if anybody else goes live, I don't feel bad for going live because I think
We've been doing it for a few weeks now.
A year and a half we've been doing Tuesdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's our night, man. Yeah. And then even Dan Swartz, he does Mondays, and then he schedules one the same time as us tonight. I'm like, why? Like, I don't get it. Oh well, what do you do?
Yeah.
A lot of YouTubers now. So
There are.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The Mac, I'm really pumped. I was really disappointed that I couldn't go, actually. I was looking forward to pulling you at the Mac too, but
Yeah.
it's so close to Christmas and my wife didn't like it very much. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Where are
yes.
you? Where are you coming from? Where are you?
Well, I'm with the Red Deer team, Matt Mass team.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
all of us are on Red Team Red Deer, but I
Okay.
live in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I travel to Red Deer, and Sean's like, I thought you were coming Wednesday, but he said Wednesday and Saturday. So now I'm coming Saturday, it looks like, because I got a podcast tomorrow again. So
I know there's talks about a Mac going out west.
yes,
I'm
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
it'll be
not
close to
aware,
us.
but what's that?
I said if it happens like I think it will, it'll be close to us, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. I just know I haven't heard. I mean,
Uh,
we
yeah, I don't
focus
know if it's
hard on
gonna
the event
happen.
right now. So, like this event was really just supposed to start as like it started just I was going to do the team event and I wanted to do it on the Mac tables, and then I've done no elimination tournaments on the Mac tables before. It always works out good. So I was like, let's do it more like a joint thing where it's actually advertised as a Mac tournament on the like no elimination whatever, and then we caught the Auden match, and then it just obviously blew up
Yeah,
from
it
there.
blew up. Yeah,
And two,
you did
yeah,
a team
it's
thing,
been
didn't
real
you?
quick too, right? Like the timeline already was short because of the venue that we got in Toronto was like it's a pretty decent venue and we got a pretty good deal on it, and they want to do more arm wrestling things and they want to do things like arm wrestling, so or like different types of events because of the event space they have. So we had a certain window that we could do it in. So it was like, oh, okay, let's throw it together like this. And then once it got so big, it's like, okay, this is the kind of event we would love to have 6 months to plan for, you know?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
And is that the one that's in Toronto this time? It's not in where was
Which
the last one? Brampton, wasn't it? The last one?
last what?
The Mac event?
Yeah, yeah. The Mac event was in
Okay. And this one's in
Brantford.
Toronto?
It was
I
in
think it was
Brant.
Brantford, not
It was
Brampton.
Oh,
Brantford. Yeah, it wasn't
Brantford.
Brampton. It was Brantford. Yeah.
Oh, Brantford.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Brampton, there's Brantford, and then there's Bradford. There's like
Yeah. I used to live down there and I still don't know where
Brantford. That's where it was.
Yeah.
Well, I've been wanting to get onto a Mac event, and
Oh, it's
There you go.
Shambi.
I
This
have
must be pork chop.
a person in mind to pull, and they were talking about maybe trying to get into the Toronto one, but right now the funds wasn't available. But
Yeah.
I wanted to pull Tim Lewis.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be good.
That'd be a cool match.
Oh yeah. I'd like to see Tim pulling. I haven't seen much of him lately. He's been
Yeah,
I think
for sure. I mean, that's the thing is like with the, you know, again, just in general, like with the last Mac event, he had like 30, with the prelims, he had like 32 or 34 super matches. And with this one, when it was odd and it was like, we could have done 40 super matches easy. You know what I mean? It's it's not hard to find the matches. It's a matter of being able to lock them down, make sure that they're good, and then also again, it's just such a tight timeline. Like, was not ideal in that sense, and not
got him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, no, I had to get the laptop. That's my woman's name, Stella. There.
No worries.
Apparently you can't download apps without a
you go by Stella. It's all good, brother.
Yeah, the laptop's better.
Yeah. I'm just glad you could make it. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, it's a little staticky. I can hear you kind of this laptop.
Okay.
So. Yeah, thanks, guys.
We hear you good, though.
That was really brutal.
Yeah. So you got a big match with Jason coming up, left-handed.
Yes, sir. It's going to be good. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, bud. Training's gone well?
Yeah. Training's going good. Yeah, for sure. I train early in the morning before work, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
And then I have a band tied underneath my desk, so when nobody's looking.
Perfect.
Always rising, right? Always be climbing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I let it cool though. I won't eat it.
What about you, pork chop? How's your training?
Yeah,
it's been steady. Honestly, the last few months it's been crazy because I had the Mac 2, and then I had 3 or 4 weeks after that I had to go to UK and pull. So I've done like 4 super matches in like a couple months. So I've been just continuing to do what I'm doing, and now, yeah, I'm pretty much tapering down and getting ready.
You have to make weight for Jerome, right?
I
Like
have to be,
he wanted a 245 weight cap or something. Was that right?
no, we agreed 253 with clothes on.
Oh, okay, cool. So
I
you're there.
wasn't sure why the poster said 245, but it's kind of weird because my weight is actually dropping. I'm like 248, 249 at night. So it's weird that the poster came out 245. It's like, I don't know if it's manifesting, but
Maybe.
my weight's
Again,
dropping.
I don't know how much you heard before you came on, but I have probably said about 10 times already about how fast this event got pulled together. So making those cards and everything, I guess I thought the match was at 240, and I thought that there was
You're
that
gonna have a huge advantage. You're like,
It's
fuck
really
you,
not
buddy.
a
I'm gonna
big
weigh
deal.
60 pounds more.
It's not a big
What are
deal.
you weighing in at, Tiny? Like 290, 300?
Yeah, I'm 295, 300. I'm trying to get down. I mean, I don't know. I struggle.
I can't. I struggle too. I get down to like I'll crack 280 and then I'll fly right back up over 300 again. Just I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. Even if
Yeah,
I eat healthy.
I'd like to get down to around, like, if I get in the 260s, like under 270 comfortably, then I feel like I could cut and make a 253, and with my frame, I feel like I'd be a lot more competitive down there than with the supers. I mean, I really should be like, 330, 340, but I just don't feel good at that
Yeah,
size.
well,
A lot of weight.
just about feeling good. I mean, look at Hutchings. He fucking pulls supers and he's like 210, right?
Yeah, I know that's
205 and shit.
He's
Yeah.
a special.
He's a special human. Yeah. You've had some cracks at him. I've watched all those. Yeah.
Yeah,
You got closer in the last one. Yeah, it seemed a little closer. Yeah.
That's the main guy model. I mean, I come from a West Side system powerlifting when I did powerlifting before, so I understand the idea of West Side really well, and the way that Todd has adapted it to arm wrestling really makes sense. So I pretty much follow my own adaptation, but very similar to.
I started with the conduit method. That was my training for the first year of arm wrestling. And I kept a lot, like I keep some, like I still kind of use it, but I've changed it up like a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's perfect for building your tendons, your strength, I think it's really good. So
Yeah, Todd's onto something.
yeah,
so many different ways people are training. It's not always the same for everybody, but
no, it works different for everyone. Yeah.
I mean, it's the one of the like, to learn the training to get it down to a science. I'm still learning it. I feel like what I'm doing now the last few months has been working well.
Yeah.
You're always one thing I've learned is lose the ego. No more ego lifts that just damage you. Just always try to feel good.
Yeah. I think that's one of the keys with, I mean, again, like, regardless of whether it's arm wrestling or not, the conjugate system is based around the idea of always changing. Like, that's what the conjugate means. It means that you're constantly changing what you're doing, so that's and then also there's a lot of auto regulation, which is part of that too, where you really don't want to, if you're feeling like shit, then you're not doing something right. You know what I mean? You should feel good when you train. It doesn't mean that a lift can't be hard and you can't feel something after a lift. But if, like, you're dragging yourself into the gym and your shoulder's always this and your back's always that and this is always sore, then yeah, you're probably not doing something right. Or if every rep is like painful, then something wrong there.
Yeah, because you can dial it where it's like every workout and every rep feels pretty good and you're not sore if you're not damaging yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the key. Like, if you listen to, it was like George St. Pierre's trainer was on Rogan, and he was explaining it. Like, think about it like if you had, like, Devin always uses the idea of like money. If you could apply, like, but the key thing is that when can you train again? So if let's say you're going to lift 500, you're going to, just to make the math easy, if you're going to do 500 pounds of volume, you're much better to do 100 pounds 5 days than do 500 pounds one day and not be able to work out for the whole week, and then do 500 pounds again. Like, you're going to be able to grow and progress by stacking it up little by little by little by little continuously, and try to get it all in, and then do it again, and and be so damaged that you can't train for days and days. It's like it always comes back to consistency. That's the key thing, so
I feel like I've been training at like an 80 or 90%, but every day, like I do the heavy weight. Right now, like I'm not on at work right now. I work seasonal, so I'm lucky that I'm able to be at home so I can get the training in. Even though my schedule and life, my kids, trust me, the balance isn't always perfect, but I've been able to work out these last few months multiple times a day and continue without damage. It's just constantly I lift, do my heavy multiple times a day, a lot of bands.
Yeah. So do you basically follow like a similar to Devin, like you're doing singles multiple times a day?
I do singles.
Round, you have like 4 or 5 or 3 or 4, like a round of singles that you do, and you do them multiple times throughout the day.
Yeah, like I've simplified it, to be honest. I do my, like I have like maybe 1, 2, 4 or 5 exercises tops, and then I do my 1 reps after my volume.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I'll do I pyramid all my sets and my workouts. I pyramid everything up.
Yep.
And I go right up to like 90% of my 1 reps.
Yeah.
And if it feels good, then I'll gradually go up in weight. It's lower increments at the end, but I'm always doing my 1 reps after I'm kind of not fatigued, but I'm pumped.
So you build up a lot of volume to get to your 90%, is what you're saying.
Yes.
It's not you do something different, do like a volume workout and then do singles. You build up in that routine. Yeah. So like
I'm always
power building
the weight.
Like a power building style of more or less, like a lot of power builders, like Mike O'Hearn kind of style, where it's anyway. Point is that works.
Yeah.
It seems to be I feel like I'm getting stronger. Like
For
it's
sure.
slower progression, but like my body's used to now all the time.
You
so
guys use
we'll see if it
progressive
shows.
overload. Like it's almost progressive overload, right?
Yeah, I mean it's always like you're always again with the conjugate, because you're changing so much. It's not as linear as like the progressive overload. But I always like to follow like a 2 up, 1 back kind of wave.
Yeah.
Continuously be like making it worse. So like if I have a 3-week wave, the third week is like where I'm actually pushing into new territory. And then when I reset the wave, the first week is like stuff that's pretty routine. The second week is like I've done it. Maybe I've done it once or twice before, and then the third week is like, okay, new territory again. So you're not like actually like doing like full on PRs every week. If depending on the training, again, when it's conjugate,
Which is
Todd does it. The way Todd does it, it's like 6 weeks, I think, or I think he does either 6 or 8 weeks
before
cycle between each lift, right? So he did this lift 8 weeks ago before he's going to do it again. So it's always moving something this way. It's just a different handle or a different angle of variation. So he's getting stronger. So when he gets back to that handle, it moves up a bit. It's a new PR.
Yeah, he does a max. He does a speed day, max day, and all that stuff. And he does max every week, but it's a different exercise, like you said. For like, he doesn't actually do the same exercise for like 6 to 8 weeks again after he does it. That's just on his maxes. So his routine stays the same, like similar.
Yeah, he has like his volume stays the same. So like again, conjugate is like it's about mixing, because there's scientifically speaking, there's only 3 ways to get strong: maximum effort, repetitive effort, and dynamic effort. Now, what constitutes as those 3 things is there's 1,000 different variations of what that is. But most people and almost all programs focus mainly on repetitive effort, right? Some sort of repetitive effort. And the conjugate system is about mixing those 3 in a wave way where you're not overworking, but you're able to hit all 3. But in like Louis Simmons, if you work a max effort and something is like, oh, I'm weak, like for arm wrestling, if I feel like I'm weak on pronation or I'm weak rising, I don't do max and speed to really push that up. I do a lot of volume to get that up, like catch that up, and then I'll notice my max and my speed going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do something similar, almost very similar.
We've got a duck on the.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a duck. Yeah, it's like a CB radio or something. I don't know what it is. It's gone now, whatever it was.
Anyway, the lifting is. I could talk about it forever.
No, so can we. That's what we. This channel is just bro science. We just talk bro. We love it. So don't worry. Oh yeah.
Now, Jason, when it comes to lifts, would you find since Mac 2, are your lifts up?
Since Mac 2, well, I mean, okay, so I train like again the way Todd does it. So my lifts are a little different for you than they were for Doug, right? So and I didn't really know Doug, so I had an idea of what I thought was going to work, and I was sort of training towards that. The lift that is the same is up, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know.
But
now you're training much different for me than Doug?
No, like not much, but like so again, the way I lay my week out is I have a speed day, I have a 2 isometric days, and a max day, and then a volume day. Volume day is just like usually just fuck around and get a lot of work in on whatever I feel like or whatever. Whatever. So my max day is what it really is like what I'm focusing on. Okay, I want this to be dialed in for this opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's more. And then the speed day is always based off of the max day. So again, like different variations, but the angle and the direction. So speed and max day is always going sideways of some sort, but then the angle and the handle will change a lot, and that'll really change what you know.
Now, what about the weight for your speed days? Are you doing heavy or like kind of?
So speed day is by conjugate, like by Louis' math, you're supposed to have about 50% of your max on the bar. So that would, like, if I'm doing a stack, if I can do 100 pounds, I'll have about 50 pounds on the actual stack, and then about 15 to 25% of band pressure between the beginning of the lift and the end of the lift.
Yeah.
So at the end of the lift, I'm at about 75%, but that's like for a second as I'm at the end, and it's, you know what I mean? So it's not like, it doesn't beat your body up the same way. For arm wrestling, I've noticed that percentage is more like 30 to 40. For powerlifting, it's 50 to 60. So I'm usually around 30, 40% of my max on the bar, and then about another, so if that's, let's say that's 40 pounds, I've probably got another 20 or 30 pounds of band pressure by like going through the movement. You know what I mean? And then it's always like low reps, so 3-4 reps per set, high set numbers, so like 6, 7, 8 sets, and low rest, like 30 to 45 seconds. So for the most part, I'm usually doing one arm, like taking a breath, doing the other arm, and then just working back and forth through those, and that's my like 30 to 40 seconds rest. I might have to change the stack weight a little bit depending on like the movement, because some movements really my right elbow. But yeah, that's how I do the speed day. And then I usually do one like I usually do 2 movements, like 2 different variations on the speed day. And on the max day, same thing, 2 different variations.
Okay.
So the second variation on the max day isn't like a real max. It's more like I work up to like a 90%, and then you know how Larry Wheels would do like a heavy triple and then a back off set of like 8 or 10 or like, so
is
like
that kind of like 5-3-1? Do you ever remember that?
5-3-1, yeah, like a back off set. Yeah, I think 5-3-1 did that. 5-3-1
percentages and 3 reps, and I don't know. I forget. It's been so long since I did it, but I remember.
Yeah. That was more like week to week, though. I think where it was like 1 week you were doing 5s, and then you would do, and then you would go 3s and then 1s. But either way, so if I'm not doing a true max, but I'm kind of maxing, I'll go to like 90% for a single. Then I'll count that as 100%. And then do 80% of that for an AMRAP for as many reps as I can, and I'll call that like that's another style of, again, not really a match. That's more like repetitive effort technically, but kind of.
I should write down. I don't really. I kind of do everything from my head. Even in the gym, I've always done that. But
I do it off my head. I just before I start, I write it all out. Like I write out my kind of plan, and then I almost never track as I go along. That's why I take videos if I do, and I don't post them all the time. But remember like what movement did I do and what was the weight or
I know from Mac 2, my lifts are up like from Mac 2. Yeah, it's not like oh my god, but they're definitely. And I always study my matches, and I was watching my match against Doug Allen and even against Patrick. I see my center strong, everything's good. Maybe the bottom, the pinning. So I really improved that. If I get you off center,
finishing,
I can fucking hold that finish for a long time and a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I hope that we're able to get into a war. You know what I mean? So
right, like the way Mac's setup is, close your thumbs, close your hands. You always want to be strong, right? Boom. So if you get your position, so I was like, the way their setup is, I feel like for somebody like me, even you, somebody that's strong, we can get our position pretty good. Nobody's loading into our hand. Mm-hmm. Everything's pretty fair. Yeah. So with that, I feel like here, no problem. I can get that center control, but my finish needed work, and I really worked on my finish. Yeah. So hopefully it'll show.
Well, we'll see how it goes because I had a pretty good idea of what I thought you wanted to do in the beginning to win the start. So I worked on trying to fuck with that, and if I can slow that down or manipulate that the way I'm hoping, hopefully it'll turn into
my rise too. My rise is really improved on my left too. Yeah, my back pressure, my rise, I notice is really really good right now. Yeah. So I don't know if we were training more sideways or.
No, I mean that's the one I posted because that one. Todd always used to say if like 100 pounds was kind of like the threshold for, and
so what was that 100 pounds that lift?
Yeah, 99 pounds, but like straight side, just coming over your top. For me anyway, that's the thing too is like compared to like the way that it translates to the table is what really matters, So when you find certain things that you can gauge to how that's gonna play out, or how that usually translates to the table, everybody's gonna be a little different because the lifts are so based on the mechanics that are so different between like.
I'm looking forward to arm wrestling you on this type of table.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We have a lot more room to move,
and we both know it. It's not like one of us hasn't used it before. There's a few matches where it's going to be completely new for some people.
You guys never competed on a Mac table against each other, right?
Not against each other.
No, but they both have.
Yeah, no, I know they both have.
How many matches have we had, Jason? How many matches have we had?
Well, we only had the first real matches. We only had the first couple when early on, when you came down to our place during COVID, and then at that round robin tournament that Yannick hosted. And then we may have bumped into each other once or twice in a tournament since then, but I don't think we've pulled an actual
mainly just tournaments, eh?
Yeah, mainly just tournaments. And I don't know the last time we pulled left hand in a tournament. Because the last one we were at left-handed, like the last tournament we were at together was the one that Devin was at, and then you, me, and Nathan tried to figure out a way to try to take him out, and you and I didn't end up crossing paths that day. So
he was so mad that day that you lied down there. He was pointing at me.
You lied down to me. You lied down to me. Because the first one you lied down to me, and then I laid down to Nathan.
Oh, was it that way?
No,
no, you lied down for me. It worked out. I thought.
I think maybe you and I laid down once each because the point was once he saw that we were working together, he was pissed at us.
Oh fuck yeah! I was like, oh shit. And he was getting tired too. His left at that time was getting tired. Now I almost had him, but yeah.
No, that's what he lives for, man. A bit of
So we know Jason's like dominant with his left. You're closer with your left and right, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah. Sorry, Pork.
Yeah, they're pretty much working. Believe it or not, my they stay pretty close, but for some reason my right always near the end, I find it holds up a little bit better, but my left's they're pretty close.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Now I got a weird question for you guys. It's going to be off topic for a sec. So we're going to probably hold an event here this summer, and we really want to set something up like East versus West Canada. And is there anybody? I don't know if you guys know who we got out west for pullers, but would you be interested in pulling somebody out from out west maybe this summer if it was arranged? And
PorkChop, you should pull Josh Bellin right-handed.
yeah, he beat me at nationals. That
But
was
your
the last
finger
time.
was hurting, wasn't it?
I broke my pinky finger.
Yeah.
My first right hand match against Cameron Quayle on a slip, I drove my pinky through the table and I broke it at the very bottom of my pinky on an angle. That was Canada Day, yeah, nationals.
I've done
I still
that.
gave
I
him a
did
bit of a
this
fight
finger.
considering I had no finger, but yeah, he's just a big giant. You know, I look at these heavyweights and I look at my size and I'm just like, you know, I'm getting older. Like I'm not 40 yet, but I'm going to be 39 here in another couple months. So I see myself gradually dropping weight and not really chasing these big monster
Big
guys.
fuckers. Yeah.
I see myself. I'm optimistic. I feel like maybe I could be like when I'm as long as I stay healthy. My goal is to just slowly as I get older for health reasons probably come down. You know, maybe 230. I feel like at 230 I could probably make problems for people. You know. I really
yeah,
do.
for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think if you were more dominant, and the more
And
you go
now
down,
that I see my weight, because now I switched up my diet. I do a lot less sugar. I'm trying to eat better. I mean, it's not perfect, but what is?
You're already quick. You'd be like really fast, and your endurance would be like crazy good down there.
Well, that's like even at 246, I was 246 this morning.
Yeah.
I can feel, I can breathe. I feel quicker. I'm athletic. You know, I feel, and my strength is up. It's not down. It's actually, this is the strongest I've been at this weight, really.
It's crazy what cutting the sugar and like
He's lit.
cleaning up your eating will do.
Inflammation, it just, you know, it's, I don't even alcohol. I've pretty much, I'll have a drink like after my matches and celebrate, but now when I'm getting ready for matches, there's like alcohol is just not even in my life.
oh, it makes sense. Well, I think
Yeah, I wasn't thinking Josh Bellin.
we got a few. No, I wasn't think. I was actually who would I'd like to see, and it would be either Jason or you. Is Caleb Freeborn, left-handed. Actually, like he could pull one of you guys left and another guy right. I think, but I think Sean too. Sean Crowther. He's building up now.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, his
He's
right.
pretty good. He's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, he's improved.
Didn't he just pull?
Yeah,
Yeah.
against Josh. Yeah, Josh beat him. Yeah, but,
What did Josh beat him? 3-0 or what?
yeah. But Josh he's actually taking it more. He's up to probably 10% this year from last year.
He's got a
lot
big
stronger.
hand. He's got lots of control. He's really, really good. He's kind of like a
Explosive.
Rick Heidebrecht style, you know?
Yeah, well,
That's why
they
it's
had
so fun
two.
watching
They've had
them both.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually organized an event with Josh DeVoe, and we had Rick fly out, and they went at it, and Rick won 3-2 because Josh got tired. Yeah,
Yeah, Rick's got good endurance.
yeah, really good endurance. Rick's got
Yeah, he
really
beat him
good.
3-2 both times they
Both
pulled so
times,
far.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but we got
those
some
guys-
killers down here too, and I'd like to see because I don't think we mingle enough the West in Ontario. Because
I went out there and I pulled
the Torque tournament. You were at
Harrison, Mark Harrison.
Mark Harrison. Yeah.
I wish I would have pulled the right arm that day. I bet you I would have got that too. I bet you then. I was strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mark just dabbles. He's like a
Yeah,
part-time
it wasn't
arm-
close.
He's really good for how much he arm wrestles.
Absolutely.
Like amazing, actually. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you came down and then Chance was there, right? And
Chance pulled Caleb left and
yeah, but I didn't like
BLM
that
right.
match. That match, I was watching it, I was losing it. I'm like, he didn't fucking pin him. He stopped it. Caleb's one of these guys that he actually gets, that's where he catches people, like about an inch off the pad. He catches them and then he just has driving power. But they
Yeah.
kept calling a win, but I was like, I get pretty angry at refing
I
sometimes.
remember my arms were so sore after that tournament. I did so much after pulling.
You guys
that.
drive down, didn't you?
That's where we after pulled pork chop. I remember that. Yeah, that was fun.
Did we? Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt like I pulled like everybody at that one.
Yeah, you did.
Well, we'd like to do another one anyway. I think it'd be cool. And we got some guys that are pretty strong. I mean, it'd be really cool to just bring down 10 guys somehow. You know, I'll try to get anyway, I'm working on it anyway. I'll start contacting people soon.
Yeah, I know in June I have Mega Mike in Arizona.
That would be awesome. You got is that right or left?
It's I believe it would be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good match. You guys kind of stack up the same. You actually pull similar too.
Yeah, he's got a who was his last match against it was that Knuckles Up Mega Mike. He beat Withers Wayne with top, with the top roll.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, Rick came close to coming back, eh?
Yeah,
almost.
He almost that's what he did to Josh. Josh was like just ripping through him. And then the third, what was it? The third round? Yeah, he ended up catching him and he just bled him. And then the next, and then he came back to win.
Yeah, when Rick came back, I was blown away. I was like, wow, where's that Rick all the time? That's the Rick you need every round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, he takes a little bit to get fired up sometimes.
He's a slow starter, yeah.
So much. He's just such a quiet guy, right? Like
he's a nice
doesn't
guy.
have a mean bone in his body.
Yeah, and in practice, he's usually so in control of everybody. I think he's just really used to just grabbing people low and just controlling them.
Yeah.
In practice, that he gets himself caught doing that a little bit.
Match.
Round one, match, and then round two, he's like, oh, kind of like, what the hell?
He hangs on a lot.
And he hangs on a lot.
I don't know why he hangs on.
Probably because he holds people in practice so much, he doesn't have that mentality, right? You know, it's probably occurs too, right? Like depending, he's not a high hooker though, is he?
No, he doesn't have. Like he's well above the guys that are around him.
So he's not even doing. Yeah, well,
there's one new kid that's down there named Ilya that I don't know how often they practice together, but he's 6'7" and dedicated, and he's good. He's strong.
Imagine if he had a team around him too, even if
he's still new, so he's not really challenging Rick. Like Rick is teaching him. Like Rick's got to work with him for like a year, 2 years,
couple years. I learned you can't rush arm wrestling. You can't rush it. I wanted to. I tried. I ripped my bicep tendon my first year, and I was trying so hard, and I realized, you know what, you just got to be patient. Every time you level up, it's almost like you just gain strength in your tendons, and it's like you level up. Like stay strong, train hard, but if your tendons kind of dictate how high you go. Because I've noticed as my tendons have been getting better, I've been progressing finally after 3 years. But like the first couple of years, I mean, I was stronger than everybody, but everybody pinned me my first year arm wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at me and Jason. We both ripped our tendons. You ripped yours on your left, right, Jason?
Yeah. We have the same injury, opposite arm.
Yeah.
Devin.
Was it right
Here's
off?
the tendon too. Yeah. What surgery did you have for that, Jason?
So you see it in here. It's like the scar is here, and then so they cut it. Let's see if I do this like this.
It's probably the same as mine.
Yeah, I think if I remember seeing yours, it's the same. Yeah.
Mine's like.
Mine's right along the knife here, like right here.
Yeah.
And there's a little scar here.
There's my scars. See them?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And how long? So I got a question. I had an injury. How long did it take before you were able to make a full comeback?
I was competing within 8 months. I believe I was in a few tournaments within the 8 months. And I thought I tore my arm at Picton too in a tournament.
Oh,
I remember that.
How long were you, Jay?
Remember that?
It was like 6 months before I started pulling hard in practice. I don't remember. I think my first match was against this guy named Dennis. But I was well ready for it. And he called me out. He was like, "Hey, I want to be your first match back," and then I
taking advantage of the situation. Well, the reason I asked you, I didn't mean to drill you on it.
I think it was about a year. I think it was a year before I pulled an actual match.
See, my surgeon is an asshole because he's like, well, because I had a 47% tear, right?
Yep.
So he's like, listen, we could cut it, it's probably best, but why don't we wait a little while and see if it starts growing on its own? So I was doing this light rehab stuff, and I go back in and I had a little bit of growth. So then he said, okay, let's not do surgery. It took me 18 months to rehab to where I could pull again on my left because I didn't have the surgery. I should have had surgery.
So you never did? It's only been
because it was a 47% tear. He said because I could regenerate. And I did, but it took like blood flow for 18 months.
You should just go home and picked up your couch. And
I know it just popped it. I know. And I listened to him.
One of the guys on one of the guys that's reffing, he's a really good ref. Porky knows him. Lewis, I think maybe Dakota knows him too. Lewis Kokolar, he tore his bicep.
Oh yes.
You guys, I'm sure you guys know Dustin Houghton.
Yeah, of course we know. Yeah, he broke both his arms.
Dustin blew his bicep in a tournament, like blew Lewis's bicep in a match, and Lewis came over. He's like, I think my biceps fucked, and it was like twitching hard, and it felt soft, and I was like, yeah, that's not good. Definitely don't pull anymore.
Yeah.
And I think like an idiot, maybe he did like pull a little bit on the side and was like, okay, no.
Yeah.
But later that week, like maybe that was on a Saturday, so before the next weekend, he was moving his couch. And blew it then. So then when he went to get the surgery, it was already like all fucked up because it
traded
and healing. Yeah, so his scar is disgusting. It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky. I did have full regrowth. I mean, I used peptides and stuff and lots of blood flow, but it took 18 months before I was confident to pull left-handed. So my left only sucked so bad is because I never got to pull with it for like 2 years.
Have you had imaging on it?
Yeah, I did MRI and
it's all good. It is 100% back, or
I got a huge. It almost looks like a big calcium deposit almost, but it's all healed. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, I got scar tissue, like big, like mounds of scar tissue, but my tendon's actually thicker. It's actually a little bit thicker, I think.
Yeah. Mine's thicker.
Yeah, but the thing is fuck. I wish I could have done it in 6 months because see. I was like, then I'd have 2 arms at the same level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find since your surgery, Jason, your arm's a lot less sore now and recovers quicker?
My left?
Yeah.
Now, yeah. I mean, my left was always seemed to heal a little quicker than my right for some reason. But yeah, now it is. Yeah, it's definitely more durable, and it's got some spots that are just like different than it was before the surgery, like way different. But I noticed, I don't know, do you notice that supination on your left is a little like not as connected as pronation?
On my left?
Not on your left, sorry, on your right, because you're whatever when you tore your right?
Yeah.
I remember the surgeon saying that because I was like, oh, I know that if you move it down, you get better pronation and better like elbow flexion. And he was like, yeah, but it'll compromise your supination a bit. And either way, Devin was like, just have him put it as low as he fucking can. And I told him like 7 times, like as low as you can. And the first thing I said to him when I came out of surgery, I was like, so doc, how low did you put it? Like,
yeah, right.
He's like, don't worry, it's lower. Okay, just fucking.
That's what I said too. Yeah, like, well, I was all high on the drugs before the surgery. I'm like, put it lower, put it lower.
Well, I told him when we had the meeting, I told him like 1,000 times, but I do notice that with the multi spinner, my multi low on my left, it takes a second to get it like locked in. It's always just a little off.
I would trade that for better pronation.
My left's
yeah. I'm not arguing. My hook on my left got way better after the surgery. Like before the surgery, I could not hook on my left worth dog shit. And afterwards, I was actually pulling with Dustin the first time when I started to pull hard, and we're like pulling in the hands, and it's good. And then he went to go sideways, and I let him like drop into a defensive hook, and he stopped. And then he looked at me like, "Oh shit!" And we were just like, "Oh fuck, what is that?" Like,
It looked good against Doug Allen there. It looked like he was getting tore apart.
I mean, I felt bad for him, to be honest. It felt really good, and he was like, said his shoulder was a little.
Did he get hurt? It seemed like he got hurt.
Oh yeah. I don't know how bad the elbow. He's going to be at this one, so I'll find out. But we knew
there was damage
on the MRI and everything. Like when I rolled him out, it just like cracked and popped like crazy. I felt it, and then he looked at me. He was like, "You felt that?" And I was like, "Yeah." That was
Fuck. Yeah.
You were what? You were a hook, and you just sort of kind of pronated through the
second
hook.
one. Well, the first one. So the first one, I knew he was really fast, so I was kind of expecting to catch him a little bit, or not. My hit was more to like hold position than to try to get into his position.
It's weird that his speed wasn't a factor. Like
For me,
you know how like I thought he was going to be fast as well, but
yeah.
he really wasn't on that setup style. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think the style and the setup maybe, yeah, because if he had like a foul and a slip, and a false start to get into to get hits without a strap on my hand, that would have sucked. Like I wouldn't have wanted that. So
Yeah.
setup being right to the strap, and now we're locked together. I just had a position I was wanted to get to stop. I caught him in the hook. I pulled him over. Went to pin him, and his bicep was a little sticky. So I stood back up. I kind of hit his fingers for a second, pushed him really hard sideways, and then pinned him easy on that. And then the second one, hit that same position, but then tried to like pull him back and kind of go out and around. And he kind of hung on a bit. So now I was like out in his hand and going sideways. And as soon as I went sideways, it just went like Rice Krispies. And
Yeah, you kind of did what I did to him, just sort of like this, and he's just stuck, and he's out of his shoulder.
He's like wiggling and wiggling.
Just like a fish out of water.
I noticed that when I was watching.
That's the start is so important, and getting.
I think you want to be familiar with that setup in the start too, because I noticed, like when we were doing live commentary on it, I kept thinking that everyone was just starting carved in because it just seemed like, but Ian told me afterwards, no, Brian, it's because like 90% of the guys were hookers. And I was like, well, that makes sense. Because I was like, it just seemed like it would have been hard to have your pronation active in the setup.
Well, you depends on who you're going against, but
yeah,
the like in that kind of a setup, like any kind of a WAL,
yeah,
straight to the strap, close your thumbs, close your hands. You don't get a lot of time to get exactly what you want, and neither does your opponent. Nobody's getting exactly what they want.
So you're not getting it.
Both compromising somewhere in the middle, which is why all the top guys that have done it, like Matt and Devin and Mike, all those guys say that it's probably the fairest setup because neither of us can really manipulate it too much. It's fast, it happens, and once you're going, without you being able to get a big advantage or your opponent being able to get a big advantage, you don't feel super uncomfortable either.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like if you don't get a setup and you get a great grip, I feel like shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, we're not. What the fuck? No way, I'm going to start
exactly.
with that. But in this, neither of us get a great advantage, so neither of us feel that much like shit either. We just both kind of feel like, okay, let's go. We're in it,
Yeah.
At least that's my experience.
I just brought it. Yeah, I just brought it up as a viewer because, like, I always have this thing where I got to start and I want my pronation active, and that's how I always set up. But I'm thinking I could find a way to make it work, though. I just have to.
It would take a little bit, but you'd have to give up some of that to get what you want. And then, but if you were with another guy that wanted the same thing, you might end up both being like,
yeah.
But then what's going to happen on close your hands? You're both going to feel great.
Yeah,
as close to great as you can without the other guy feeling fucked, right? So,
I agree.
I love the setup for that reason because that like eliminating that little bit of fuckery. What? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's so fast. Close your thumbs and then you're going, man.
Yeah. There's some arm wrestlers that rely on the fuckery. You know what I mean? I know tons of arm wrestlers. You take the fuckery away from them, you beat them every time. Like there's some guys
or rely on that like perfect grip. Like when they go to practice, they only pull once they get exactly what they want, and that's the only time they'll actually put real effort in. And then that's what they look for in a tournament. And if they get it, they feel like great. And if they don't, they feel like they got fucked.
I think I'll like it.
It reminds me of like I don't know if you ever heard Travis's line. Travis used to say, "I love it when people tell me that all you did is cheat." It's like if all I did is cheat, then what are you going to do to beat me? Just hope I don't cheat. Like there's nothing you can do to get better to beat me if all I did was cheat. So obviously I did something to beat you that wasn't just cheating. So why don't you improve and get better? You know, but it like that's the same kind of the same.
Oh, I think it would be good. I like the ref script, so I'm always trying to get the ref. So it's just like getting a ref script, really.
Yeah, but if
You know why I like the ref script is because sometimes with my inexperience, that's my setups are like the number one thing I work on now, because a lot of my losses I was getting, it was like they were just kicking my ass in the setup. So I was fighting, you know, bad, like I was losing before I even got going. So now I just work on the setup. But usually when I get a ref script, I always feel like I feel comfortable. So, and that's basically because I don't have to try to beat them in the setup. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking these rules might be just perfect. Like you said, I'd probably feel comfortable because I'd at least be, you know,
I love the setup and the way Mac is. It's just fast. There's no mess around. And if you are strong your opponent slightly and you get that without that load in your hand and you're both no loading, like it's man, you can get your position really well.
Oh yeah.
And then
I like loading too. That's the thing. Yeah.
Even though the pads are a little bit higher, it's still hard to finish because you have like you both have so much room to move.
Yeah.
You have a lot of room to play defense to be like no, I'm going to edge out that spot and just hold off that little bit to.
That's what I like about it.
It does play out really well, and I think as we see more and more matches and as we see more and more matchups,
people
utilize it really expose the martial and the fighting style of arm wrestling. You know, where as long as guys are. Like I think the style will also show pure strength. Like if somebody is more than a certain percentage stronger, it's just going to be like crush, 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 because the other guy has no way to fuck around and get out of the strength gap. You know what I mean? Yeah. But once we see a lot of matches where the strength gap is really close, you're going to see a lot of like changes and adaptation in the match as it develops. I think because the pad gives you so much room to move. And
I think we got to get more tape. I think Ian's on it. I know he's working on it, but we got to get the tape.
It feels higher, but really
the same
because it's the table itself is the height of what an actual pad is on an arm wrestling table, right? That whole area.
Yeah.
You know what I did, because I don't have a table either. We made two tables. I have pads where I made 8x10-inch pads.
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah,
and I made them soft, like WAL style, so you have that bit of like bobble room, and it's so similar to the feeling of a. I mean, the Mac feels better. The Mac is better. It's better for the viewing, everything about it. But for simplicity, until you can get a Mac table, just make yourself a 8x10 soft pad, and instantly
used to moving around.
You have so much room to like.
Yeah. Because I think that's the thing. You guys would have to get comfortable. That's why that's a good idea. I'm going to do it. But guys need to get comfortable on the bigger pads just to get their motion.
I'm pretty sure Ian's actually working on something that he's going to be able to.
That he might provide. I mean, like
people and and I think it's actually going to like incorporate the indent somehow, and because like what Curtis said, the pad is. The elbow is technically like a little bit lower than where a real table is, but the hip is a little bit higher or something. I can't remember how it works out, but
the height of the pad. I measured it. I think it's like
40 really good.
2-inch.
41 inches, right to the top where your elbow touches the pad. Yeah, so that's a little bit.
Are they softer or harder?
Softer.
Okay.
I haven't pulled on a second gen Mac table yet. I've only pulled on like the first.
They're not soft like squishy, but they're not like rock hard like that WAF style. But again, because they're because of the indent, because you have that freedom to glide, you're not like worried about like I have to be pinned down to this pad, so you float a little bit more, you know.
I love the table. The table is great. Like you have a big border, your shoulder, as long as it's not past that border, you can like get so tight.
Yeah, and honestly, I know Ian talks about it all the time, but not having the corners, especially the bigger guy,
I get bruised up, man.
So much more comfortable not having the corners, like.
Oh, big time! You get cut my biceps on the corners and everything.
I've done some shit on the corners too. For sure. No, I like it. You know, I want one. I want the first Western table. I want it.
Yeah, well, he's working on them. They're getting made. They're just it's not the same as it's a little involved.
No,
But
for
even,
sure, I know.
even for training for the setup, like even when I do my my speed work, I like when I set up with the multi, I'll open my hand and like close your thumbs, close your hand, and then hit the
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, because
speed work, you know what I mean? Just to keep
yeah,
because there's also something about that, like it happens so
memory.
fast, so
Yeah.
easy to kind of not realize that, like to miss it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like when you train your top roll, you just do it 1,000 times to make it. It's programmed, so you do
That's one
your
thing I've
head.
worked on is my heavy reps, not trying to bend my wrist in and just drag it.
Yeah,
Trying to
just
start from straight and then just containing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's I think a lot of people do that where they'll fool themselves thinking
Fool
that,
themselves.
like because they're
I
training
can,
a
I
lift
can
from that
do it.
strong. You know, the one you see all the time is people that press and they
Oh, I
train
don't
the
like
press
that.
from like here. Actually, Auden was talking about it in a podcast recently. How he's like, I never train that because once I get there, like you're fucked. If I'm there, I have never had
Yeah,
a problem.
you're relying on frame and shoulder, but you're not actually building that tricep for your drive. I
And
don't know. I
and
don't like that.
it's a press isn't about like, yeah, that's strong because of your frame,
The
but
frame.
can you get there? And how do you
Right.
stop when you? I'm not going to stop a press by letting somebody get on my bicep with their full press and then be
Yeah.
like, haha, pull them out of it, unless
Yeah.
I'm way stronger than them and I'm just
Yeah,
playing
and you
practice.
can
If
open
you're
it.
more
And,
competitive, the way I'm stopping a press is you're not getting there. You're not you're not
well,
getting here. You know what I
just
mean?
stop the press with height, because the press, when they go to press you, you stop them here. It's like 70 pounds. You stop them down here. That's like 300 pounds you're trying to hold up now, right? Or more, right?
Yeah.
I always, like, every time I'm up against a presser, I just punch straight high and try to block them right at center table. And then they can't get, like you said, they can't get behind their arm properly, and then their press is shit. You just
A really good a presser will struggle with a really good inside arm wrestler.
Yeah.
inside guys always usually will beat a presser. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can pull them
I
outside
hate
the
to
shoulder
And you're
anyway.
taking that lane away, like
Yeah, you're
if
taking it
they
right
want to
away.
get here and you're pulling them here,
Mhm.
they're you know.
Yeah, it makes it really tough
Yeah.
for sure.
Take
Hey,
But I gotta make a mile, boys, before we get talking anymore. I gotta hit a lift before I gotta go to bed for work. So, but it was
Yeah, I
good
gotta go
chatting
eat
with you
supper
guys,
here.
eh?
Yeah, you too, bud.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Please. See
What
you,
were you
brother.
saying, Curtis?
See you guys soon.
well, I was saying,
I'm
are you gonna press? Are you actually?
I'm on my left. Like I can't press off the go. I've tried to work on it and make it happen, but no, I can press. Like if I get to a press, it's strong, but I'm not going to get there like by getting there. I'm going to get there by like working away into it. You know what I mean?
Now we're gonna be most likely straps, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not. Of course.
Because you're
The
not gonna.
rule, as far as the rule goes now, if like I want strap, you don't want strap,
Once it goes,
then I think you get to flip a coin, and if you win the coin flip, then
Yes.
then we get to go no strap. And
Yeah.
now if we slip, as soon as we slip, we
No
both get a
strap.
foul, and it's straps for the rest of the match.
Yeah,
you might
it's
as well
not
start no
strap.
strap. You might as well start no straps, because you know it's going to be straps all match anyway. At least
Yeah,
get
so
a
start
feel.
in the straps. Why would you
I'd
start? No
rather just go straps. There's no point of kissing.
Well, I guess yeah,
I don't want
it'd
to
be a
waste
one.
time. I don't want to get a foul for
Yeah.
something stupid.
That'd be a
And-
one
and-
slip
and-
deal. Yeah.
and I don't and slipping, especially when you're fired up. We're both peaked. We're both strong fucking guys. When you slip, like, how did you break your pinky? Slipping. Why the fuck do we want to slip? Like,
I slipped. I broke
go
my
into
finger slipping
slipping
too. Yeah.
unless it's because the opponent that I'm going against is like thinks the way to beat me is to keep me away from the strap. He wins the coin toss. Now, okay, fine. Now I'll
This is my attitude. I'm cool with straps with you, but I'm cool if you want to arm wrestle me, but don't slip. We'll actually arm wrestle without a strap.
Yeah. If by
But
round,
if we slip,
whatever.
it gets ugly, right? But if you wanted to try no straps, but you actually have to arm wrestle,
actually want a hook, yeah. And even bro, if you want to go on a hook, I'd rather do it in straps. Like,
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
I'll
like,
do it anywhere. But
yeah.
Well, boys,
Gonna go
I gotta
there.
go eat supper.
What's that? Sorry.
Okay.
I gotta go eat supper here, so I'm gonna
Hey, brother.
head out. Nice
No
talking to you
worries.
guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Cody. Take care, buddy. Yeah, well, I think that's what you guys should do anyway. Just go to fucking just get right in there and see.
Well,
no, we're gonna
90 almost every match for everybody is almost guaranteed going to go right to straps, because to not go the only way it works if you want to not go straps is basically what Curtis just said. Is you both agree like we're fucking starting here and we're gonna grind it out and see what happens. Because if both guys want to top roll, if they're any good at top rolling, they don't hang on. So both guys are gonna be like, yeah, strap me up. Like,
Yeah, no,
you know?
that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think of some of the matches, like predictions, like
Yeah,
Jason
that's a good question.
If you want, we can. Yeah, we can. I don't want to make it like 3 drop in a row, but as I said, I train early, so I do want to go soon. But yeah, let's go through the list. And,
No problem.
there's only 13, so I'm fine to go through it as long as we don't.
You have the matches? Are they in a row in a list?
I have them on. I can pull them up in 1 second. Yeah.
Perfect. I know Ian's in the chat. I see him. I could have had Ian on too, but I don't know. He's busy. I don't like bugging him all the time.
Ian is
On a few times recently. Yeah. Oh, but I'm gonna get to one of those. Maybe we will do a Western one because I was talking to Ian and I don't think it'll be the end of 2025 to the beginning of 2026 is when I think there'll be a Western one now.
Yeah.
Well, it's what I know now. Yeah. So
here it is. Sorry. Okay. Matt versus Blake. Matt Oliver versus Blake.
You
Good,
guys
Matt.
better.
I don't know. Like I feel like to me Blake's a heavy favorite in that one, so I don't know where Matt's lane is, but I know Matt's strong and I know he knows how to arm wrestle. So maybe that's just because I think when they pulled last time, I'm pretty sure Blake just pressed him, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Blake's definitely the favorite there.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure Matt's training and he's looking like he's getting stronger.
Yeah, and again, arm wrestling is so much about like, as long as you're strong enough to be in the fight, it's all about the fight, you know? So somebody can come into a match and change things just because they know how Blake is attacking them and he's got an answer for it.
It's weird about the MAC tables though. You don't see a lot of lopsided scores though, where the strongest guy just seems to win. Did you guys?
Yeah, this I think that is the case too. Yeah, I definitely, yeah. But as I said, I think as we get to see more and more matches, as you get matches that are close in strength, you're going to start to see more and more technique. But
exactly.
Milo versus Shaker or Shakar. I don't know Shakar, but I guess he beat him pretty convincingly last time. Milo wants to win back, so
Milo's gotten stronger, I will say that, and he's got a lot of fight in him.
Yeah. Well, Shakar was the only shirtless pick, so he's definitely got confidence.
Does Milo train with weights? He never shows weights. Does he just pull?
He's at practice a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot of table time. Yeah.
I know he gets working and stuff, and then he kind of gets away. But then when he comes back there, he's at practice pretty religiously. I think.
The next two that I got here on the list are you and me, and then you and Jerome. So, I mean, I'm going to say me. You're going to say you. We're not have to talk about that one anymore because we talked about the whole thing. So now you and Jerome. Do you have anything to base him on? Have you? The only thing I can remember was him.
I have ideas from matches I've seen where he is weak.
Like you have an ideas of where the lanes are that you want to attack?
I do, yeah.
Cool.
I'm not going to give a lot away, but
no.
I'm excited to see that match. That's probably, honestly, of the whole card, I think that's the match I'm the most excited for.
Yeah.
And then Brad versus Oleg.
Oleg from BC. Yeah.
I just saw him and Matt. That was him and Matt that just pulled, right? And Matt
he did good at his straps. He did. You know what? He did okay at his straps. Oleg. Yeah. Matt killed him, but
he's pulling out his straps in this one.
Matt owned him.
But Brad didn't Brad beat Matt left-handed or no? Matt.
No, that was right-handed. Brad beat. But listen, Brad beat. I'm going to stick up for my coach here, but Brad beat Matt. Yeah, but Matt didn't expect to have such a war with that Wilmot guy, or what was that guy's name? He pulled Brock.
When was that though? They had a match. Brad had a match with Matt Maskin.
Yeah, and Armours, and in Matt
Armours they had a match left-handed, and who won it?
Matt won the left-handed one.
He did, yeah, I thought so.
And then, but the day that he lost to Brad on the right, he ended up having a pretty big war with that William Brock. And then he beat William Brock, but then he was like, he had to wait to pull him, and he said his central nervous system just didn't come back.
Yeah, man, adrenaline dump is
Matt wants Grundy back for sure. But yeah, he said he had
again, Curtis. I don't know if you heard when we first started, but one of the things I said early was that like I know it's never a great idea to host an event and pull a match just because it's so exhausting. But since you're pulling a match before our match, it like balances out a little bit because it's fucking tough to do that. So no envy of you deciding to do that. But this is the third event in a row now that you've done it, so you're getting used to it.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about cardio or stamina.
Oh, you're seasoned. This is actually
It's not the cardio and the stamina. It's what Matt said. It's that adrenaline dump. If there's somehow
the central
but
nervous
Mac is so fast, you're gonna be just coming like just
he'll still have it. He'll still have some of his adrenaline.
and you and I will be pulling like 5 minutes later. So
yeah it'll be perfect.
It's when you have a big gap, like your central nervous system. When you're fired up, you only got a window before you can't ramp. You can only go up to like 80%.
That's
like,
why it's so hard at a tournament to do
Yes.
both arms, because by the second arm, you're like,
your central nervous system, and you just can't output the same amount anymore.
Doug Allen and Alan Ford.
Alan Ford. Whoa. I say Alan. I think Alan will take his hand and pin him.
Alan Ford over Doug Allen.
Alan Ford. Yeah. But Doug Allen, if he gets his hooks in, I think he
like if Doug stops it.
Yeah.
And Doug did say his right is feeling good, and I think I know I've pulled Porky's right recently. I think Porky's right is very, very, very good right now. So I mean, have you pulled Alan Ford recently, or?
I did. I pulled him a couple weeks ago. He's really strong. He's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I don't know. I mean,
I'm thinking him.
Yeah.
He's looking good. He's been looking good.
Yeah. Philip and Rick.
Rick, I want Rick to win so bad. I'm going to say Rick. Philip's got an endurance problem.
Yeah, I think if Rick can make it a fight early enough,
he'll win.
He can win it for sure.
Because Philip just like at Arm Wars, you've seen him. He was like really strong out the gates, but he diminished so quickly afterwards.
Yeah, and Rick's endurance is another level. Like if Philip will notice it, where Philip will feel weaker, and then all of a sudden Rick will all of a sudden be stronger.
Yeah, he just gets stronger.
Yeah, and again, the straps, as long as Rick isn't sleeping too much on the first two hits, and he's not like waking up in the third round, if he can put some wear early, I think it's.
I give it to Rick. I give that one to Rick.
Philip has a win on Brad Grundy.
He does. But that was when Grundy was off training because he was going to doctor's school.
That's the arm wrestling math. The arm wrestling math, it looks like Philip should crush Rick because Brad beat Rick pretty convincingly, and then Philip beat Brad pretty convincingly. So arm wrestling math wise, it doesn't look like a match. But yeah, we know that doesn't work, and Ian set it up because Ian has pulled with Philip recently enough and pulled with Rick recently enough that he was like, I really do feel like there's.
I think it's going to be another good match, man.
Yeah, I hope so. Matt Smith, Mike Hitt.
I don't know. Mike
Hitt is number 5 in the Hook rankings. So this is Matt's attempt to really make it on that list. So Matt has been on a tear.
He's a beast, man.
He's looking really good.
I was surprised he lost to Pelko. I thought he was going to pull it out.
I mean, you don't get to number 5 in the Hook rankings.
No, because you're
so there's
exactly.
Mike Hitt's definitely coming with something.
Talking about the match that he had at our clubhouse.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was a fucking
that's Matt not really showing up peak.
Exactly. I think
Matt's a warrior.
I think if it was in a super match, it would have been different. Yeah.
Matt's got the Ironman for the most tournaments in a year, like
crazy.
In a row or something.
He's one of my favorite pullers, actually. You know that Connor Sale when he pulled him the first time? That was one of the best matches I ever seen.
Well, they just had their match.
Their second match, yeah. But their first one was the best ever.
Matt anymore. He's done pulling Matt, he said.
Yeah. Well, the first time was the match of the year for sure. That first match they had. I seen the second one too, but the first one.
All right, we'll do 2 more.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about him, but I think he likes to go right inside, which is good for Matt because Matt does well against
if Mike. Then that's gonna be a war. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Coach Ray and Josh Rodriguez.
I don't know Josh Rodriguez very well.
I don't know Coach Ray well enough in the sense of like I know him
That's a
from knowing
lot of,
him on the line, but like
he's
and
an
seeing him
endurance.
full.
He's an endurance guy.
Josh has been training really hard. So and this
Mhm.
is like this could be a little bit of a Rocky Balboa story here, where Ray is coming in for like not an easy match, but
Yeah.
it's a match that
Thinks it's
Ray is
easy.
really expecting to win, and Josh is going to have a lot of people there rooting him on. Josh is a
Josh needs to kill him 3-0, like
and
kill
he's
him.
a Crazy George disciple. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's got some grips and some tricks and some things that Coach Ray.
Good match.
Coach Ray,
I think it's going to be a good match.
if it's close the first round, I would say it's going to lean towards Coach Ray.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But if he's able just to smack him, because Coach Ray can just he's an endurance guy and he's slow too, like Rick Heidelberg.
even if I wouldn't be surprised if Josh does get a smack in there because Ray is trying to figure him out.
Yeah,
And Ray has a lot of different things he can do, but I think Josh can change it up too. So I expect it to turn into.
Is he with your club?
No, he pulls with London, which is Crazy
Okay.
George's club, which is one of the clubs I trained with early on. Like Table Monkeys used to.
I love Crazy George, man. He's so he comes to Edmonton. I don't know why, but he's in Edmonton like months every year. He was here like 10 times. Yeah, I think he's got a daughter or something in Edmonton or something. But he goes to the Edmonton club and he's awesome. Yeah, I like him.
Our last one we should do, and then I do have to call it an evening.
No sweat.
Yeah, me too.
But Auden and Artem, that's the whole reason we're all here.
Yeah, I think Auden can do it. I think Artem's the favorite. Like if you weren't thinking about personalities or anything, but I think Auden. I think he's
the internet right now, like all the posts and polls.
They say Auden because he's popular.
Yeah.
But I think it's Auden more because I think he's putting the work in and he's getting really strong. You know what I mean?
You know, I've heard and I've seen Artem is pretty on fire right now too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I heard Auden made a really interesting point about the size of the pad from side to side and how that does kind of favor Artem's style. And I hadn't thought about that part.
Second hit.
But the thing I did think about is that if Auden wants to Kings move him, that's not a great answer on the MAC table because of that extra inch on the pin.
Gonna have to take control of the hand.
It's difficult to do this kind of a Kings move on a MAC table. If you can stay up with your Kings move, it's still manageable. Yeah. But like Sean, when I pulled Sean, I thought I was in a really comfy spot, and he got a pin on me that to me was not a pin because I'm used to that extra inch.
Yeah.
And then when I looked at the video, I was like, oh no, that was okay. That was a pin. So it's not like you can't just sit there and let people hit on you in a King's move on the MAC table because that extra inch
the trick. The difference will be if can Artem rise with him, then there's problems. But if Artem potentially loses his rise and maybe gets flat wristed, then maybe,
I think Artem's kind of expecting to lose something and get into that position and wants to just hold on to some of his pronation so he can hit to the side.
That's what he wants. Yeah. He wants to try. He's like Hutchins kind of that way. He'll give this away, but as long as he's got his pronation, he can always go sideways.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's also said if you can like
a little bit, it takes
if you get his hand flat. Yeah. You get his hand flat, then he loses that. So
it's to break the pronator. Yeah. With either with a hard cup or just a really good top roll.
Yeah. I expect it to be a good match. I think they're both in good shape. They both have a lot to gain and a lot to lose. So
for sure. Well, we're looking forward to your guys' match, man. It's going to be awesome. Actually,
I hope I've added enough bricks to the pile to.
You seem very impressive on your left, man. Like your left seems a good level. So
yeah, it feels good, and it feels good when it's peaked. It can be you beat yourself up so much to then build up to a peak that sometimes
when you're down, you think you've gotten weaker, but
and you're like, fuck, I hope not.
I know that. I get that all the time.
As it starts to come closer, as long as everything comes together, and then again, as long as if it can be tight, we can have some fun with the martial arts side of it, and then that's what I'm hoping to be able to do because that's
what's your rank left arm now, Jason?
I'm right behind you, bro.
You're third, eh?
Yeah, so it's
in Ontario.
It's me, then you, then Devin, and Devin is still
Yeah,
like.
because you've
I
beaten
think
Rick.
I think I've beaten Rick
You
before.
beat Rick left. I beat Rick left. You beat Jeff Dave.
Yeah, I beat Dave. I beat I don't think I have I don't know who else is on the list that.
You beat Mike Gould left.
Yeah, I know I beat Mike and Rick and then my
Wow.
win on Dave was I think part of what.
Have you beat me left yet?
No, I haven't beat you
No.
left, but I've held you up left when
You
we.
were close in the 2019. You were close.
I wouldn't say I was close to beating you, but I made it look like a pretty good match because I made it very hard for you to finish me. But I like in the moment, I definitely
On the
didn't
top
feel
end.
like I was ready to pull you back to the other side of the table. But
Both completely different now. I can't really.
yeah, exactly. That's why like we haven't really pulled left. We've practiced pulled a couple times, and the last time we practiced pulled seriously, it was, I don't know how beat up you were, and I don't know how whatever, but it was close enough that I was like thinking, okay, I think maybe this is a match soon enough. And then after I beat Jeff, I mean, unless I'm searching outside of Ontario and going, it's you're the next guy on the list, right?
Can't
So,
wait.
and honestly, I feel like if I beat you this time, or if there's another time soon, but it's going to be you and me like going back and trying to level each other up as we try to chase Devin. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, if you beat me, dude, my left right now is really good. It feels great. If you beat me, like you're beating, like incredible. I feel ready, and
I feel really ready too. So I'm
real quick question: did they change the weight classes in the tournament just now?
No. That was that Ian just made a
225.
Yeah, like our no elimination that we always do are 155, 175, 205, usually 245. We added a 225. He was just making a point that max official classes are usually like whatever that is, 60, 80, 200, 220, 240.
Yeah.
So it was a little confusing in the post, but no,
I just got
if you just go to the like Table Monkeys Facebook is the one that has the actual event. But it's 155, 175, 205, 225, 245.
Okay, well, you know what? One last thing. I am going to probably contact you boys, and there's two names. So if you ever think about pulling out here, or if you ever agree to come out here, one left-handed is Greg Deneen, and another one's Caleb Freeborn. And then there's Sean Crowther and Josh Bellin and all these other people we can do right hand. So so that way you can study up and have a chance.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I appreciate you guys coming on, man. It was awesome. It was good talking to you guys. I'm looking forward. Like I'm buying the pay-per-view. I'm not missing it for the world. So
spread the word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But okay, man. Again, yeah, thanks for coming on. It was awesome. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Yep.
And you guys have a good night, man.
All right.
Right on, Brian.
Okay, good seeing you guys.
Have a good one, guys.
You too.